Hi, and happy Friday. I have not been doing these live videos in a while, and I wanted to come
And happy Friday.
back on.
I have not been doing these.
And there's an echo here, so I'm going to try to figure out what to do about that. Okay, let's see. I think the echo stopped. So, yeah, so this week there's been this theme about people that I've been talking to saying that they are feeling overwhelmed and they're having a really hard time calming down. And their first request of me is to help them calm down. And when we actually listen to what's going on and what's happening, it's a situation where the person is actually in a crisis situation or a situation where something about their livelihood is threatened. And so I wanted to talk about what we do in situations where we're actually in a threatening situation or in a crisis situation. And it doesn't have to be life or death, but it could be something where our security is threatened, or our relationship is threatened, or our health is threatened, or our sense of peace and well being is threatened. So these are all situations where the first reaction is actually not to calm down, or is not always to calm down. And I like to use the example of ethology, which is an example that's often used in somatic psychology, which is the study of animals and comparing human behavior to how animals are in their natural states. And so the example that I use is the one of, let's say there's a polar bear and it's like being hunted, or there's something, let's just say there's a hunter that's trying to kill the polar bear, and which is horrible because they're an endangered species, so I hope nobody's trying to really kill a polar bear, but let's just say for example's sake that they are. And so the polar bear, in the body of the polar bear, is actually going to first the energy is going to actually hold in or drive in towards the center um, of the body, so that it's preparing the animal to either fight, flight, or freeze. And that is going to happen until the animal is in a safe place. Let's just say that the animal has escaped, or they play dead, or the threat has been removed, and then the animal will be able to the animal will shake, so it will actually release the energy physically before it's able to calm down. So I actually shared this example this week in one of my classes, and people really resonated with this example, which is that we as humans don't, number one, we don't have a way of being able to shake off stress. And so often we're trying to get into this mental state of calm while our body is actually physically still holding on to the stress. So one of the things that before we even get to trying to get rid of the stress or shake it off, because there are actual physical ways that we can help our bodies to decompress and to release the stress physically. But before we even try to do that, we have to make sure that we are in a safe situation. And the examples this week that people brought to me were situations where they actually weren't in a safe situation. I mean, they might have been physically safe, but they were about to make a decision that was going to lead them into a more unstable situation. So I just want to say that in a situation like that, if you're in a situation and you are kind of going down a path that is going to continue to keep you in an unstable situation, or is going to further the instability of something that you're concerned about, you can't expect your body to feel calm in that situation until you do something to stabilize your actual physical situation first. And so, in recognizing how important it is to feel secure in order to be calm, I just want to recognize that there are many ways that we underestimate how important our sense of security is to being able to feel calm. And how often I hear of people that are trying to feel calm while they're doing things that are creating insecurity or instability in their life. So this is just a reminder to empower yourselves to take care of yourself physically, to take care of your security, to take care of your home, to take care of your physical body. These are all things that create security. And financial, I just spoke with a financial planner who I'm going to actually interview in a couple of weeks. And she was even just saying about how much we can take care of our financial security, yet most people are not acting in alignment with taking care of their financial security in all the ways that we can. So one of the first steps in being able to remain calm is to do things, take action towards taking care of your security. And then the second thing is that sometimes we're just really going down the wrong path. And our body is going to start sending us signs and signals that are telling you to stop, or telling you something's wrong, or telling you whoa, change directions. And we just keep ignoring the signs. And so maybe often we do that because we don't know what other path there is to take. And so I want to just remind us all that even if we don't know or we're not clear on what the other path is, that we often have the choice to be able to pause, to stop, and at least take a moment to reflect or get help to see what our choices might be. And so we do often have the choice to at least stop. And I love the Lauryn Hill song where she says that sometimes we just need to stop the car, say I was going the wrong way, and stop and change directions. And so we really often, I think, minimize our ability to just pause and to stop and get help, reflect, go within, whatever you need to do, meditate, get your mind right before you continue to move forward. And when you do continue to move forward, you do that with the intention, the commitment that you'll be in a clear decision-making space where the decision moving forward feels better than it does when all these sirens are going off telling you something's wrong, wait, no, don't go. So listening to yourself when that's happening to you and your body is telling you to wait, to listen to that and pause. And then the other thing is that sometimes, often when we're afraid or we're overwhelmed in a situation, if you really stop to listen to that emotion, it will tell you something might be threatened in your security, but what it might also reveal to you that there's something that you're angry about or someone that you're angry at. And often that anger could be blaming someone for, getting in your way, or blaming someone for putting you in a situation that's undesirable. More often, it's anger or resentment at yourself for ways that we have failed to stand up for ourselves. So if you find that anger is underneath the fear, there's often an opportunity to take where you have to.
If you find that anger is underneath the fear, there's often
stand up for yourself.
An opportunity to take where you have to. Find that anger is.
I'm not sure what's going on with that echo, but it keeps coming and going. So hopefully it stopped. And so if anger sometimes is underneath the fear, it's the opportunity to listen to that, take the opportunity to better stand up for yourself, communicate something that might be wrong with the plan that you're going on, or take the opportunity to problem solve or get help with problem solving with the solution that you may not be able to see at the time being. And I guess that goes into the last point, which is that often the barriers that we experience, we think that they're physical barriers. We think that, the situation is limited in a way that we can't do anything about it, or we blame the people that just aren't going to change their mind, or the people that are stuck in their ways, or just, the requirements of the job that we have, or the limitations of the agreement that we have. And often those things are true. There are contracts that have firm things written in them. There are people that don't want to change. But still, our role and our responsibility in living our life is to be able to manage those situations in a way that we can still be able to thrive and get what we need. So even if a person or a situation is in our path, which it always is,
to thrive and get what we need. So even if a person or a situation is in our path, which it always is, to thrive and get what we need. So
we are still able to do something often to be able to influence the situation. Maybe it's about having a difficult conversation that we think is going to have a negative consequence. And often, like I said, these things, it seems like a physical barrier because the physical barrier is there, but the way to removing the physical barrier is through something that is emotionally challenging. And so the actual real barrier is not physical. The barrier is within you, and the barrier is emotional, or the challenge is emotional. So it's about challenging yourself to have that difficult conversation, to negotiate something that's in your best interest, to say no to a demand that feels like that's being imposed upon you, or it feels like you don't have any wiggle room to get more of what you want. And it sometimes might involve having the courage to make a big change, whether that's in a relationship or whether that's in a career or that's where you live. It's the courage to be able to take that step towards making a shift in your life. So would love to hear what you guys think of this video. Share it with anyone that you think would benefit. And I will look forward to seeing you guys next time. Happy Friday and have a nice weekend.